everyone. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to My Voice Book Club, which is inspirational self-development books. All the events can be found on Meetup. And this week is our full week of Neville Goddard's teaching at 5 a.m. Club, Monday to Friday. Tuesday we have transformational stories, which will be inspired by Neville as well. And Thursday we have the free sessions for the monthly book club at 5 a.m, 12 p.m. and 8:30. In next week, our in-person book club will be Good Vibes, Good Life by Fex King. We also have our Michael Singer's course starting on the 7th of September, which is a 21-week course, and it's a paid event, and that one's £44. All the other events, you can just click on the Zoom link to join. And we have our Becoming Supernatural Journey to Alignment weekend online retreat on Saturday the 12th and Sunday the 13th, 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. on Sunday, 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. on Saturday, and Sunday 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. And that's just a donation based that helps support the book club if you want to join. Message me, let me know. I'm going to start off with just a short 5-minute qigong. For anybody that wants to stay at the end of this session, there's quite a few of us that did the Shaun T week, so I've decided to put on a 30 minutes stretch class afterwards to recover the body this week. So if anybody else wants to stay, feel free to stay after the session. Probably the session will finish around 6, and then I'll play the stretch one. And well done to all those that completed the Shaun T week. That was a tough week. So if you're ready and able to stand up, if not, then just try as much of movement as you can while you lay down.
Breathe in. Breathe in. One hand touch your shoulder, another hand touch your lower back. In, out, in, out. And then you can stretch your palms, bend your knees down, look like you are swimming backwards. Okay, inhale. Exhale. In, out. And put your hands on your lower back, your hips, and then you can allow your lower back or your hips to release tensions. Breathe in, out, and do reverse in, out. Wonderful. Open your palms, breathe in deep. Breathe out slow. Bring your mind back to the body in the present moment. Allow yourself to relax your body. Feel your feet on the ground. Open your palms, V shape again. The next one we call the hand folded, body curving. Also join your two palms together, your two thumbs crossed together. Okay, breathe in, you lift your folded hand up, and then your fingers will touch in the center of your forehead. Okay, bend your head forward. Breathe out, bend your head forward, your hand go down. Keep your knees straight until your fingers can touch the ground or reach as far as you can. Okay, in the center of your 2 feet. Okay, in that way. Inhale up. Exhale down. Allow your neck and your lower back to stretch naturally and slowly. Okay, feel your lower back. Inhale, bend upward, backward, and out. Bend forward. Release tensions. Look like you are touching the earth. You are bowing to the earth. Thank you for being there. In. Out. Let it go. Feel your lower back. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. One more time. In. Out. That's so wonderful. Now shake your hands. And then you jump a little bit, okay? Bend your knees a little bit, jump, and shaking off all anxieties, stress, and fear from your hands, arms, and your legs. Wonderful. Just put one hand on your lower abdomen, another hand outside. Then you can move with a clockwise direction. Press your lower abdomen a little bit. Massage your body, circulate the blood on your lower abdomen. Improve your digestive system when you do this often, okay? Breathe in. Out. Allow yourself to release tension from your belly, from your dantian. And then massage your two palms together. And then side by side. The other side. Then massage your face. Allow your face to release tensions and relax. Okay, and then you can massage your lower back. Two hands, massage lower back. And go down your two legs. And go to front. So you can do 3 rounds like that. Okay, breathe in, raise your hands up, stand by the toes. Okay, release stress and anxiety completely. Okay, in. One more time, in. Open your palms, inhale deep. Exhale slow. Bring your mind back to the body again.
Give me a short one to wake you up.
Breathe in.
So from the Neville's, the complete readers, there are 10 books in there. So At Your Command, Awaken, Imagine, Feeling is the Secret, Freedom for All, Out of This World, Prayer, The Art of Believing, Seed Time and Harvest, The Law of Promise, The Power of Awareness, Your Faith is Your Future, So we're going to do a little bit from each of those throughout the week. Today I'm going to do a bit on At Your Command. So I've got a video, so if you just sit back and enjoy.
Welcome to Legendary Motivation Channel. Join us as we listen to some of Neville Goddard's radio talk in 1950s, which were never recorded or released on the internet before, until now. Today, lecture is by Affirm the reality of our own greatness. Sit back and enjoy the masterpiece work of one of At Your Command, Neville Goddard.
Can man decree a thing and have it come to pass? Most decidedly he can. Man has always decreed that which has appeared in his world, and is today decreeing that which is appearing in his world, and shall continue to do so as long as man is conscious of being man. Not one thing has ever appeared in man's world but what man decreed that it should. This you may deny, but try as you will, you cannot disprove it, for this decreeing is based upon a changeless principle. You do not command things to appear by your words or loud affirmations. Such vain repetition is more often than not confirmation, the opposite. Decreeing is ever done in consciousness. That is, every man is conscious of being that which he has decreed himself to be. The dumb man, without using words, is conscious of being dumb. Therefore, he is decreeing himself to be dumb. When the Bible is read in this light, you will find it to be the greatest scientific book ever written. Instead of looking upon the Bible as the historical record of an ancient civilization or the biography of the unusual life of Jesus, see it as a great psychological drama taking place in the consciousness of man. Claim it as your own, and you will suddenly transform your world from the barren deserts of Egypt to the promised land of Canaan. Everyone will agree with the statement that all things were made by God, and without him there is nothing made that is made. But what man does not agree upon is the identity of God. All the churches and priesthoods of the world disagree as to the identity and true nature of God. The Bible proves beyond the shadow of a doubt that Moses and the prophets were in 100% accord as to the identity and nature of, and Jesus' life and teachings are in agreement with the findings of the prophets of old. Moses discovered God to be man's awareness of being when he declared these little understood words, "I am hath sent me unto you." David sang in his Psalms, "Be still and know that I am God." Isaiah declared, "I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things." Awareness of being as God is stated hundreds of times in the New Testament. To name but a few: I am the shepherd. I am the door. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the way. I am the beginning. Whom do you say that I am? It is not stated, I, Jesus, am the door. I, Jesus, am the way. Nor is it said, whom do you say that I, Jesus, am? It is clearly stated, I am the way. The awareness of being is the door through which the manifestations of life pass into the world of form. Consciousness is the resurrecting power, resurrecting that which man is conscious of being. Man is ever out picturing that which he is conscious of being. This is the truth that makes man free. For man is always self-imprisoned or self-freed. If you, the reader, will give up all of your former beliefs in a God apart from yourself and claim God as your awareness of being, as Jesus and the prophets did, you will transform your world with the realization that I and my Father are one. This statement, I and my Father are one, but my Father is greater than I, seems very confusing, but if interpreted in the light of what we have just said concerning the identity of God, you will find it very revealing. Consciousness being God is as a Father. The thing that you are conscious of being is the bearing witness of other. It is like the conceiver and its conceptions. The conceiver is ever greater than his conceptions, yet ever remains one with his conception. For instance, before you are conscious of being man, you are first conscious of being. Then you become conscious of being man, yet you remain as conceiver greater than your conception. Man, Jesus discovered this glorious truth and declared himself to be one with God, not a God that man had fashioned, for he never recognized such a... He said, if any man should ever come saying, look here or look there, believe them not, for the kingdom of God is within you. Heaven is within you. Therefore, when it is recorded that he went unto his Father, it is telling you that he rose in consciousness to the point where he was just conscious of being, thus transcending the limitations of his present conception of himself, called Jesus. In the awareness of being all things are possible, he said, you shall decree a thing, and it shall come to pass. This is his decreeing, rising in consciousness to the naturalness of being the thing desired. As he expressed it, and if I be lifted up, I shall draw all men unto me. If I be lifted up in consciousness to the naturalness of the thing desired, I will draw the manifestation of that desire unto me. For he states, no man comes unto me save the Father within me draws him, and I and my Father are one. Therefore, consciousness is the Father that is drawing the manifestations of life unto you. You are, at this very moment, drawing into a world at which you are now conscious of being. Now you can see what is meant by, you must be born again. If you are dissatisfied with your present expression in life, the only way to change it is to take your attention away from that which seems so real to you and rise in consciousness to that which you desire to be. You cannot serve two masters. Therefore, to take your attention from one state of consciousness and place it upon another, to die to one and to live to the other. The question, whom do you say that I am, is not addressed to a man called Peter by one called Jesus. This is the eternal question addressed to oneself by one's true being. In other words, whom do you say that you are, or your conviction of yourself? Your opinion of yourself will determine your expression in life, he states. You believe in God. Believe also in me. In other words, it is the me within you that is God. Praying then is seen to be recognizing yourself to be that which you now desire, rather than its accepting form of petitioning a God that does not exist for that which you now desire. So can't you see why the millions of prayers are unanswered? Men pray to a God that does not exist. For instance, to be conscious of being poor and to pray to a God for riches is to be rewarded with that which you are conscious of being. Prayers to be successful must be claiming rather than begging. So if you would pray for riches, turn from your picture of poverty by denying the very evidence of your senses and assume the nature of being wealthy. We are told, when you pray, go within in secret and shut the door. And that which your Father sees in secret, with that will he reward you openly. We have identified this Father to be the awareness of being. We have also identified the door to be the awareness of being. So shutting the doors is shutting out that which I'm now aware of being and claiming myself to be that which I desire to be. The very moment, my claim established to the point of conviction. That moment I begin to draw unto myself the evidence of my claim. Do not question the how of these things appearing, for no man knows, that is, no manifestation knows, how the things desired will appear. Consciousness is the way or door through which things appear. He said, I am the way, not I, John Smith, I'm the way, but I am the awareness of being, who is the way through which the thing shall come. The signs always follow. They never precede. Things have no reality other than in consciousness. Therefore, get a consciousness first, and the thing is compelled to appear. You are told, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things shall be added unto you. Get first the consciousness of the things that you are seeking, and leave the things alone. This is what is meant by I shall decree a thing, and it shall come to pass. Apply this principle, and you will know what it is to prove me and see. The story of Mary is the story of every man. Mary was not a woman, giving birth in some miraculous way to one called Jesus. Mary is the awareness of being that ever remains virgin, no matter how many desires it gives birth to. Right now, look upon yourself as this Virgin Mary, being impregnated by yourself through the medium of desire, becoming gone with your desire to the point of embodying or giving birth to your desire. For instance, it is said of Mary, whom you now know to be yourself, that she know, not yet she conceived. That is, you, John Smith, have no reason to believe that that which you now desire is possible. But they, being discovered your awareness of being to be God, you make this awareness your husband, and conceive a man-child manifestation of the Lord. For thy Maker is thine husband. The Lord of hosts is his name. The Lord God of the whole earth shall he be called. Your ideal or ambition is this conception. The first command to her, which is now to yourself, is go, tell no man. That is, do not discuss your ambitions or desires with another, for the other will only echo your present fears. Secrecy is the first law to be observed in realizing your desire. The second, as we are told in the story of Mary, is to magnify the Lord. We have identified the Lord as your awareness of being. Therefore, to magnify the Lord is to revalue or expand one's present conception of oneself to the point where this revaluation becomes natural. When this naturalness is attained, you give birth by becoming that which you are one within consciousness. The story of creation is given us in digest form in the first chapter of John. In the beginning was the Word. It is the beginning of an urge, a desire. The Word is the desire swimming around in your consciousness, seeking embodiment. The urge of itself has no reality, for I am, or the awareness of being, is the only reality. Things live only as long as I am aware of being them. So to realize one's desire, the second line of this first verse of John must be applied. That is, and the Word was with God. The word or desire must be fixed or united with consciousness to give it reality. The awareness becomes aware of being the thing desired, thereby nailing itself upon the form or conception, and giving life unto its conception, or resurrecting that which was heretofore dead or unfulfilled desire. Two shall agree as touching anything, and it shall be established on earth. This agreement is never made between two persons. It is between the awareness and the thing desired. You are now conscious of being, so you are actually saying to yourself, without using words, I am. Now, if it is a state of health that you are desirous of attaining, before you have any evidence of health in your world, you begin to feel yourself to be healthy. And the very second the feeling I am healthy is attained, the two have agreed. That is, I am and health have agreed to be one. And this agreement ever results in the birth of a child, which is the thing agreed upon. In this case, and because I made the agreement, I expressed the thing agreed. So you can see why Moses stated, I am hath sent me. For what being other than I am could send you into expression? None. For I am the way. Beside me there is no other. If you take the wings of the morning and fly into the uttermost parts of the world, or if you make your bed in hell, you will still be aware of being. You are ever sent into expression by your awareness, and your expression is ever at which you are aware of being. Again, Moses stated, I am that I am. Now here is something to always bear in mind. You cannot put new wine in old bottles or new patches upon old garments. That is, you cannot take with you into the new consciousness any part of the old man. All of your present beliefs, fears, and limitations are weights that bind you to your present level of consciousness. If you would transcend this level, you must leave behind all that is now your present self or conception of yourself. To do this, you take your attention away from all that is now your problem or limitation and dwell upon just being. That is, you say silently, but feeling to yourself, I am. Do not condition this awareness as yet. Just declare yourself to be, and continue to do so until you are lost in the feeling of just being faceless and formless. When this expansion of consciousness is attained, then, within this formless deep of yourself, give form to the new conception by feeling yourself to be that which you desire to be. You will find within this deep of yourself all things to be divinely possible. Everything in the world which you can conceive of being is to you within this present formless awareness, a most natural attainment. The invitation given us in the scriptures is to be absent from the body and be present with the Lord. A body being your former conception of yourself, and the Lord your awareness of being. This is what is meant when Jesus said to Nicodemus, "Ye must be born again, for except ye be born again, ye cannot enter the kingdom of heaven." That is, except you leave behind you your present conception of yourself and assume the nature of the new birth. You will continue to out-picture your present limitations. The only way to change your expressions of life is to change your consciousness. For consciousness is the reality that eternally solidifies itself in the things. Man's world, in its every detail, is his consciousness outpictured. You can no more change your environment or world by destroying things than you can your reflection by destroying the mirror. Your environment, and all within it, reflects that which you're in consciousness. As long as you continue to be that in consciousness, so long will you continue to outpicture it in your world. Knowing this, begin to ready yourself. Man has placed too little value upon himself. In the book of Numbers, you will read, in that day there were giants in the land, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and we were in their sight as grasshoppers. This does not mean a time in the dim past when men had the stature of giants. Today is the day, the eternal now, when conditions round about you have attained the appearance of giants, such as unemployed, the armies of your enemy, your problems, and all things that seem to threaten you. Those are the giants that make you feel yourself to be a grass. But you are told you were first, in your own sight, the grasshopper, and because of this you were to the giants a grasshopper. In other words, you can only be to others what you are first to yourself. Therefore, to revalue yourself and begin to feel yourself to be the giant, the center of power, is to dwarf these former giants and make of them grasshoppers. All the inhabitants of the earth are as nothing, and he doth according to his in the armies of heaven and among all the inhabitants of the earth. And none can stay his hand, nor say unto him, what dost thou? This being spoken of is not the orthodox God sitting in space, but the one and only God, the everlasting Father, your awareness of being. So awake to the power that you are, not as man, but as your true self, a faceless, formless awareness, and free yourself from your self-imposed prison. I am the good shepherd and know my sheep, and am known of mine. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they will follow me. Awareness is the good shepherd. What I'm aware of being is the sheep that follow me. So good I shepherd is your awareness that is never lost one of the sheep that you are aware of being. I am a voice calling in the wilderness of human confusion for such as I am aware of being, and never shall there come a time when that which I am convinced that I am shall fail to find me. I am as an open door for all that I am to enter. Your awareness of being is Lord and shepherd of your life. So, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want is seen in its true light now to be your consciousness. You could never be in want, proof, or lack, the evidence of that which you are aware of being. This being true, why not become aware of being great, God-loving, wealthy, healthy, and all attributes that you admire? It is just as easy to possess the consciousness of these qualities as it is to possess their opposites. You have not your present consciousness because of your world. On the contrary, your world is what it is because of your present consciousness. Simple, is it not? Too simple. In fact, for the wisdom of man that tries to complicate everything. Paul said of this principle, it is to the Greeks our wisdom, of this world foolishness. And to the Jews, both those who look for signs, a stumbling block, with the result that man continues to walk in darkness rather than awake to the being. Man has so long worshipped the images of his own making that at first he finds this revelation blasphemous, since it spells death to all his previous beliefs in a God apart from himself. This revelation will bring the knowledge that I and my Father are one, but my Father is greater than I. You are gone, one with your present conception of yourself. But you are greater than that which you are at present aware of being. Before man can attempt to transform his world, he must first lay the foundation. I am the Lord. That is, man's awareness, his consciousness of being, is God. Until this is firmly established so that no suggestion, argument put forward by others can shake it, he will find himself returning to the slavery of his former beliefs. If ye believe not that I am he shall die in your sins. That is, you shall continue to be confused and thwarted until you find the cause of your confusion. When you have lifted up the Son of Man, then shall you know that I am he, that is, that I, John Smith, do nothing of myself. But my Father, or that state of consciousness which I am now one with, does the works. When this is realized, every urge and desire that springs within you shall find expression in your world. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and sup with him and he with me. The thy knocking at the door is the urge. The door is your consciousness. To open the door is to become one with that which is knocking by feeling oneself to be the thing desired. To feel one's desire as impossible is to shut the door or deny this surge expression. To rise in consciousness to the naturalness of the thing felt is to swing wide the door and invite this one into embodiment. That is why it is constantly recorded that Jesus left the world of manifestation and ascended unto his Father. Jesus, as you and I, found all things impossible to Jesus as man. But having discovered his Father to be the state of consciousness of the thing desired, he but left behind him the Jesus consciousness and rose in consciousness to that state desired and stood upon it until he became one with it. As he made himself one with that, he became that in expression. This is Jesus' simple message to men are but garments that the impersonal being, I am, the presence that men call God, dwells in. Each garment has certain limits in order to transcend these limitations and give expression to that which is man. John Smith. You find yourself incapable of doing, you take your attention away from your present limitations or John Smith conception of yourself and merge yourself in the feeling of being that which you desire. Just how this desire or newly attained consciousness will embody itself, no man knows. For I, or the newly attained consciousness, has ways that ye know not of. Its ways are past finding out. Do not speculate as to the how of this consciousness embodying itself, for no man is wise enough to know the how. Speculation is proof that you have not attained to the naturalness of being the thing desired, and so are filled with doubts.
It's at your command. So if you've got pens and paper, just get a pen and paper and just write from the video, what do you think Neville wants us to understand about the relationship between our thoughts and reality? Is there a specific action you will take today to align more with the teachings from the video? And what will it look like? And what did you learn from the video that challenges any limiting beliefs you've had about yourself or your potential? So we're just going to spend a few minutes with that. Play a bit of music. So we're going to do a breakout room of what's your biggest takeaway from the video at your command. What part of the videos resonated with you the most? After watching the video, what is the one thing you feel inspired to change in your daily life or thinking? Was there a specific idea or concept in the video that shifted your perception of how you view your desires or goals? I'm just going to pause this recording. You will need pens and paper because we are going to put some of this into practice as well. I'm just going to read a little bit from the book. So if you, the reader, will give up all of your former beliefs in a God apart from yourself and claim God as your awareness of being, as Jesus and the prophets did, you will transform your world with the realization that I and my Father are one. This statement, I and my Father are one, but my Father is greater than I, seems very confusing, but if interpreted in the light of what we have just said concerning the identity of God, you will find it very revealing. Consciousness, being God, is as Father. The thing that you are conscious of being is the Son, bearing witness of his Father. It is like the conceiver and its conception. The conceiver is ever greater than the conception, yet ever remains one with his conception. For instance, before you are conscious of being man, you are first conscious of being. Then you become conscious of being man, yet you remain conceiver greater than your conception, man. You are at this very moment drawing into your world that which you are now conscious of being. Now you can see what is meant by you must be born again. If you are dissatisfied with your present expression in life, the only way to change it is to take your attention away from that which seems so real to you and rise in consciousness that which you desire to be. You cannot serve two masters. Therefore, to take your attention from one state of consciousness and place it upon another is to die to one and live to the other. So you get your pens and paper and choose one area of your life that you are currently conscious of living, something that you would like to change or no longer enjoying the experience of. So choose something you'd like to change or something you're not enjoying the experience of. And what have you been believing or feeling in this area? And how has that state of consciousness shaped your current reality? So Olga, can you, if you put a message in the WhatsApp, I'll remember to put it in. And Natasha, how to cope with despair. So choose if you're in a state of despair, that's the one area that you're going to choose to take a look at through this. So what have you been believing or feeling in this area of despair? How has your state of consciousness shaped your current reality? So I'm going to spend a few minutes. Whatever yours is, you write yours on. And this is going to set the focus for the rest of the session. So praying then is seen to be recognizing yourself to be that which you now desire, rather than its accepting form of petitioning a God that does not exist for that which you now desire. So can't you see why the millions of prayers unanswered? Men pray to a God that does not exist. For instance, to be in the conscious of being poor and to pray to a God for riches is to be rewarded with that which you are conscious of being, which is poverty. Prayers to be successful must be claiming rather than begging. So if you would pray for riches, turn from your picture of poverty by denying the very evidence of your sense and assume the nature of being wealthy. We are told, when you pray, go within, in secret, and shut the door, and that which your Father sees in secret, with that will be reward you openly. We have identified the Father to be awareness of being. We have also identified the door to be the awareness of being. So shutting the door is shutting out that which I am now aware of being and claiming myself to be that which I desire to be. The very moment my claim is established to the point of conviction, that moment I begin to draw unto myself the evidence of my claim. Do not question the how of these things appearing, for no man knows that way. That is, no manifestation knows how the thing desired will appear. So choose that one area that you've already chosen. What new state would you like to step into instead? So if you're in despair, what new state would you like to step in? If you're in unhealthiness or illness, what is the new state you'd like to step into instead? And really feel into the new state of what you want, you're desiring. What is that new state? What does that feel like? What is the presence of that new state? And just keep listing words of what that is. What is it? And feel into it. What is that new state? What does it feel like? And just allow yourself to go into the expression of. And then what small shift in focus or identity can you make today to begin that change? Once you're in the feeling of that new state, only then ask, what small shift in focus or identity can I make today to begin that change? Because you want to be in the presence of it to receive its answer. If you're in the state of illness, the answer will come from the state of illness. And you want it to come from that state of the presence of, whether it's, I want to be jumping, skipping, I want to be able to run a marathon, I want to be in a place of happiness, joy. Then feel into what that feels like before you go into what small shift of focus or identity can I make today to begin that change. I'm going to play this few minutes. Really feel into it. So the next bit is create a prayer exercise. Write a personal prayer of assumption, the present tense, as if your desired state is already true. This is a prompt. So shut the door to what you no longer wish to be conscious of. So from this very moment, make the commitment to shut the door to shut the door to what you no longer wish to be conscious of. So really make that commitment within yourself, like you're just going to close that door that's no longer available. Go within in secret and write a prayer that begins with, so you can start it with, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am. Then describe what you are claiming as true for yourself. So for example, I'm so grateful now that I'm fully supported in all I do. Or I'm so grateful now I'm living with ease and abundance. I'm so grateful now that I feel deeply connected to love, joy, and clarity. Write it as if you're already living it. This prayer is their claim. No asking, no being. I really resonate with this. So, because when I had the brain injury, you know, I've been told I'm not going to walk again, and all the other stuff I was told I'd never be able to do. I claimed walking out that hospital. I did not pray to God, please come and help me walk again. I literally took what was mine. That was what was in my head, was I am going to take what is mine. Claim yours today. Acknowledge it is yours. I'm so happy and grateful now that, and write it in words, in prayers of claiming it that resonate for you, that resonate that you are going to go in that direction. You know, when I was in hospital, I had this sense that even if God himself stood at the end of my bed and said, you are not walking today, I would have said, watch me. That's how strong it was within me. Like, I am standing up and I am walking out of this hospital. It didn't matter how long it took. It was all the how, and all how I was going to do it was all irrelevant. And at that point, I had no sensations in my legs. Couldn't even feel my own legs. But I claimed what was mine. Claim what is yours today. Feel into it and make a statement, and only allow thoughts in that are in that direction. Turn away from anything that is not in the claiming of your desire fulfilled. I'm going to play music for a few minutes. So we're just going to take a moment to just do a meditation and claim what is yours, what is already yours, what is already within you. So just take a moment to prepare a relaxing space. So if you just get yourselves comfortable, feet on the ground. If you can, if you sat up, if you lay down, just relax into the where you are. So just take a moment to prepare and relax in this space. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Let go of your morning, your plans, your thoughts, and drop into this present moment. Now go within, into the secret place. You are shutting the door to what was and opening to who you now choose to be. Your Father, your awareness of being, rewards you when you assume the state of your desire as already fulfilled. Don't ask, don't beg, simply claim I am. Begin recalling your personal prayer. I am so grateful now that I am. Let it reflect your deepest desire, as if it's already true. Repeat it quietly, aloud to yourself as you listen to the music. I am so happy and grateful now that I am. Just slowly bring your awareness back to this room, to the space that you're in. But hold on to the state. The claim is made. It is done. Just take a nice deep breath in and out. Nice deep breath in and out. Nice deep breath in and out. Just open your eyes and bring yourself back. This consciousness of claim that you've made, it is done. So you have become so meshed in the belief that you are man, that you have forgotten the glorious being that you are. Now, with your memory restored, decree the unseen to appear, and it shall appear. For all things are compelled to respond to the voice of God, your awareness of being. The world is at your command. For those that are leaving, that is the end of the Neville Goddard part. For those that want to stay, we are going to do a stretch. I know I've gone over the time that I said it was going to be, but you know, never know how long these sessions will take. So I hope you've all been able to take something away from today. I'm just going to pause this recording.